In this video, we will cover some basic information and instructions on completing your survey using the Spreadsheet template. If you have not downloaded the Spreadsheet yet, please see the video titled Downloading and Uploading the Spreadsheet Template for detailed instructions. You can enter your data into this spreadsheet using Microsoft Excel. This spreadsheet is most helpful to those respondents who have many locations because you can enter data from multiple locations at one time. All of your locations associated with the survey form downloaded will be listed, as well as any locations you may have added before downloading the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is a workbook made up of many tabs. The first tab, or Welcome tab, contains important information that you should read before entering data. This tab contains descriptions of the other tabs, instructions for how to use the spreadsheet, and a link to a website where you can find a corresponding PDF that provides detailed instructions for each question of the survey. The second tab is the Data Dictionary. This is a list of each data element with its corresponding description and characteristics. This tab may be printed as a reference to the survey items. Each column in the Data Dictionary corresponds to a row at the top of the Items tabs. The third tab is the Principal Business or Activity Code list. This tab is found only in spreadsheets for certain surveys, so your spreadsheet may not have this tab. These codes are the answer options for item 17 or 17A. Choose the one description per business location that best describes the location's principal business or activity. You will then enter the corresponding code as your answer to item 17 or 17A. The rest of the tabs contain all of the survey items. The top row of these item tabs contain data element names. The second row contains the questions. The third row contains any instructions for a given question. Beginning on row 4, each of your locations is listed on its own row. Most item numbers correspond to the item number in the survey instrument, except for items with their own tabs, such as items 18, 19, and 22. Please do not modify the data in columns with asterisks at the beginning of the question or description. You will typically see these asterisks on the first 2 to 3 columns of the item tabs. The data in these columns must not be modified for pre-listed locations for your data to be read by our system. Any other pre-listed data outside of these columns and the first 3 rows can be modified. We recommend adding new locations using the Add Locations button on the dashboard. However, new locations can be added directly to the spreadsheet to blank rows. First, scroll down the spreadsheet to the first blank row after your pre-listed locations. Then, for the form number column, copy and paste the value from your pre-listed locations. In the CFN column, you must create a unique alphanumeric identifier for the location. To do this, type add in all caps _ 000001 in the field. The CFN should be 10 characters long. If you are adding multiple locations, be sure to increase the last digit by 1 for each new location. And finally, fill in the name, address, and EIN fields. You must copy and paste these 5 fields on each of the subsequent item tabs. These instructions can also be found on the Welcome tab. The item tabs all contain common identifier address fields to aid in sorting and filtering. Our system will use the first item tab to update these common address fields when you upload your spreadsheet. You only need to update the common address fields on the first item tab to make changes. When entering your data, Remember that the dollar amounts should be entered as thousands of dollars. For example, if your total operating receipts were $5,045,560, you would drop the last 3 digits in decimal, round up, and enter it as 5046. You can sort and filter the spreadsheet to aid in reporting. To sort the data without mismatching it or disturbing the first 3 rows, make sure to highlight all rows and columns starting with row 4. You can change row height and column width. You can delete or hide rows and columns. However, do not delete or hide the first 3 rows or any columns with asterisks. You may also add columns or tabs for your own use, but they will not be read by our system. Once you have entered all your data, upload the spreadsheet. Please see the video titled Downloading and Uploading the Spreadsheet Template for detailed instructions on this process. After the upload process is complete, you will receive an upload report, which will appear as a pop-up in the Messages Center. The report will list any upload errors that may have occurred and their locations in the spreadsheet. There are 3 main types of upload errors. The first are validation results, which are typically data formatting issues. The second are worksheet errors, such as missing tabs. The third are import errors that occur when a location or locations could not be imported. This usually happens because of a missing or incorrect CFN number or form number. Our system will also check the data in your spreadsheet for errors and warnings. You can find a list of any errors and warnings on the Review dashboard. You can modify your data directly through the website, or you can modify the spreadsheet and upload it again. Please see the Reviewing Your Data video for additional information on correcting errors and warnings. You can also download the spreadsheet again, and it will contain all previously entered data, as well as any changes made directly through the website.